Hey everybody, Lisa here with Evolve Body. Today I'm gonna walk you through how I stay fit as a busy working mom. I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks that I have found that work best for me, and I really encourage you to give them a chance to see if they also will work for you too. The number one tip that I can give you, and I cannot stress this enough, planning ahead. This is the number one key to my success in being able to make sure that I get everything done on time. I'm gonna walk you through, I'm actually gonna set a timer, and I'm gonna show you how little time it actually takes for you to get prepared and set yourself up for success the next day. All right, so as you see here, we're at 0. Now we're going. First thing I do is I get my water bottles together. This is a very large water bottle, half a gallon. I drink 2 of these a day and probably 1 of these. All right, we're gonna get the lids. I put a little slice of lemon in my big one. I just got this recently. I really like this. I can put this over my shoulder or I can carry it by this. And of course, chapstick, because why not? So I put these on the counter.
Just don't forget where you put your water bottle, like you always do.
Love this, by the way. I put all my vitamins and I separate it out. So I will put out my vitamins and then I get my pre-workout ready, 8 or 10 ounces. I use a caffeine-free version by Gainful. I'll put a link below. I like the caffeine-free because I'd rather have caffeine in my coffee because coffee.
Shake, shake, shake.
Just kidding. So then I put it in the fridge so it is nice and cool in the morning. Don't look at my fridge, it's a mess. Don't look at my fridge. Now it's time to get our clothes together. So follow me into the bedroom, let's go. So I have my scrubs for tomorrow. I work at a surgery center and the t-shirt that I'm going to wear in with it. I have my morning sidekick journal. Most of the journals out there are too fluffy and like touchy-feely for me, but this one actually isn't bad. Food for thought on one page and then you plan out like what's gonna be important for you the next day. Then you actually complete in the morning, like did you go to sleep when you planned on it, wake up when you planned on it, and I'm gonna be going to the gym in the morning, so I'm gonna need to get my workout stuff, so follow me in the closet. I love having my workout clothes on display. I actually have them right in the middle. Normally for CrossFit, I tend to wear the least amount of clothes as possible because we don't have any AC, typical CrossFitter, but I'm going to the regular gym tomorrow and I don't want any weirdos. So I'm gonna try and pick out something that still works with it being summertime, but it's not inappropriate. So then it goes down to decisions. What have I worn recently? What do I like? It's a leg day, so I definitely want to wear shorts.
Can I point out my favorite?
Yes. Savannah has decided I will be a pineapple princess tomorrow.
Do I need to choose for you again?
Oh, fuzzy wuzzy. Pineapple princess.
Okay, great. Matchy matchy?
A little matchy matchy. So I put that out for the morning. Basically, I'm ready to go. We are at 12 minutes, and that included a little bit of time for us to figure out what I was wearing, because that's literally the hardest part of my day. I needed to have the help of my assistant. So 10 minutes spent the evening before getting ready for the following day. That's it for my first tip, which is set yourself up for success. Again, it is literally the most important. If you're afraid you're gonna forget something, make a list. Like think of what you can figure out and get ready the night before so that you can just grab everything and go in the morning. Make a list, follow it until it becomes routine, and then you won't need a list anymore.
To my next tip, schedule time for yourself. Schedule time for your workouts, your recovery, whatever it is. Put it in the schedule. I'm not a morning person, clearly. I get up at 5:20 to make sure that I'm done with my workout by 7 a.m. Number one, my kids are usually asleep during that time, so I'm not missing mom time. I'm done before I have to get everything ready and started for everybody else, for the kids, for the animals, and for work. That was literally the only way that I could make it work, was just starting my day earlier. I usually feel so much better once I've gotten it done and behind me, because then I know the hardest part of my day is over.
Here, and I'm getting ready to get out the door. First thing I use, a collapsible insulated picnic basket. I will use this to carry all of the food that I need for the day. I already have my food portioned out, and basically I'm just grabbing and going. Coffee ready real quick, because I do like my iced coffee fresh. All of my sandwich stuff together, except for the bread. Bread is over here and ready to go. I use super coffee because it's only 70 calories for the entire bottle. It is 10 grams of protein, only 3 carbs, no added sugar, and 2 grams of fat. Got my ice pack, all my food, my extra water. I have that ready. And I'm literally ready to walk out the door. My backpack is right by the back door.
No, it's not. You liar.
So I have this, got and we are ready to head out. No stress, no problem.
So my next tip for you is to build movement into your day. So if you work in an office, which I do, I'm at the surgery center, but I'm in like an administrative type of person. So I work in an office. So I could very easily sit all day long. One thing I do is I park further away from the building. And I know that sounds so silly, but it adds up. This is where everyone else typically parks. Doesn't seem like much. Maybe got in an extra 100 or 200 maybe, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna do that at least twice today. Steps I wouldn't have had otherwise. Next tip, everyone, if you are having to wait in the car to pick up your son or daughter from whatever activity, rather than sit in the car, park it, get out, and walk around. Come on. Now my son to get out of summer school. We're right by the high school, so lots of sidewalks. We are going to do a couple laps. If you're at a practice or a game and you're not just waiting, you're actually watching, think about this. If your son or daughter plays baseball or softball, there's a point between innings and like maybe they're waiting to bat and they're not on the field. You can take a lap around the field or two rather than just sit there. If you can't go all the way around, you can just do along the sideline. So there's lots of ways. You just have to look for opportunities to work it in. All right, so another way to build extra steps and activity into your day is to set an alarm on your phone to remind you to get up and move around, because it's so easy to get caught up in what you're working on that all of a sudden you look up, it's like 4 hours later, you haven't eaten, you haven't moved or anything. The beauty of having a lot of water that you drink is that you're forced to get up and go to the bathroom. So one of the ways that I've worked extra activity into my day is to go to a bathroom that's actually further away than the one that everyone else uses. So follow me along. This is where the closest one is. We're gonna go further. This is the next closest one. We're gonna go further. So there you go. I probably got in a couple hundred extra steps just doing that. Something else that I do is unfortunately, 2 of my coworkers are smokers. They always take a mid-morning break and a mid-afternoon break, and they walk outside and they might have a cigarette, they might not, but I always tell them to come get me. 1, it's a good brain break from whatever I'm doing. 2, I get up and I walk around and I get steps while they're doing what they're doing. My schedule doesn't always allow it if I have a meeting or something when they're going or whatever, but it's a nice way to have some accountability built in. The other way is I could set a timer every hour. That's really great, but sometimes that's too much. Mid-morning, mid-afternoon, to get up and just take 5 minutes and walk around for a little bit. That all adds up by the end of the day. This brings us to my last couple of tips. So I just got home, picked the kids up, got all my stuff from work, brought it in, and it leads me to the next thing that I want to talk about. This may work better for some than others, but this is what works for me. I am very much of the opinion that I don't like to sit down until I'm done, if that makes sense. So when I get home, rather than be like, oh, I had such a tiring day, I'm just gonna sit down on the couch here for a few minutes, and the next thing you know, you look up and it's like 2-3 hours later. I don't give myself that opportunity. So when I come home, I unpack everything that I had brought in from the day. I do my nighttime routine for the upcoming day. I get, dinner together, and I have to run kids to and from something, throw laundry in, whatever it is. I get those things taken care of, and then I can rest, because then I know I can rest at that point. I can shut down mentally, and I don't have to wake myself back up out of that state. I like to stay moving and going, get everything done. So then after that, it's just sort of smooth sailing. I might read, I might do some work, check in with clients. Occasionally I'll watch something like a show or something, but I'm like 8 bazillion seasons behind on everything. It's one of those special days where maybe you don't have a bunch of things to do. Instead of sitting down, because I get it, we're all mentally tired at the end of the day. You've had so many demands on you. Think of doing something that's more refreshing. If you're gonna watch TV, stretch while you watch TV. Go walking and listen to a podcast about something, or art or music is super important for your mental health. It's like another outlet. Those are just some ideas, but just anything that makes you happy. Some people like just sitting in quiet for a little bit, or journaling or something like that. Just find something to mentally take you away from the day and the to-do list and stuff like that. The last thing that is also incredibly important, but also incredibly difficult, is sleep. You gotta get enough sleep. So our bodies are very smart, but we have to give them the opportunity to perform the best way that they can. And one of the ways the body does that is through recovery
during sleep. I know that parents, like, we may have interrupted sleep, especially if you've got really, really young kids. You may be having to get up early. I'm just made peace with the fact that I have to go to bed a little bit earlier. And it was always, you know, my kids when they were younger would go to bed at 8:30, and I would literally, as soon as I put them to bed, I would go to bed because I knew I needed that sleep in order to recover, rest my mind, rest my body, and be ready for the next day. Because I think you will find that getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you're like a whole new person. There's studies and studies out there that show that if you're looking for weight loss or if you're looking for performance, one of the critical factors is sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? And that's because if we're not getting enough sleep, our body is already under stress because it hasn't had a chance to replenish its stores and recover. So when we do get enough sleep, we're ready to take on the next day. When we don't and we're in a stress state, we're less likely to perform as well, and we're less likely to be functioning on all cylinders. I guarantee there are some sleep hygiene habits that you can improve upon. Even if you have a limited amount of time for sleep, you can get better quality sleep. I hope all of these things helped, and if you have any tips and tricks that I haven't covered, please drop it in the comments and share it with the rest of us. I'm willing to try some of your suggestions as well. Don't forget that if you liked this video, please like, comment, share, so we can reach as many people as possible, and definitely hit that subscribe button so you can get alerts on our new topics that are posted. And remember, evolve your body, evolve your life.